Right, what's going on, guys? So today I am back with another video, and it is another custom tactics video, and this is with a very brand new formation, what I'm probably finding to be the new meta formation of FIFA 21 at the moment, with after the new patch. A lot of the pros are using it, and a lot of people are kind of slowly switching over to it. It's very overpowered, but very defensive heavy. But listen, before we get into the video, if you haven't, please drop a sub. We're trying to get to 2k. We just hit 1.5k, so thank you guys so much. Yeah, so we're trying to hit 2k. So please, if you can, drop a sub, hit the notification bell, leave a comment. Let me know what I can improve on the videos, or just if you enjoyed it, or if you're going to use the tactics, just anything. Just I reply to every comment, everyone. So if you ever want to get in contact with me, the actual YouTube comment is probably the best way to do it. So yeah, like the video, turn the notification bell on, and yeah, let's get into the video. So the formation we are doing it on, if you have probably you would have seen the title, it is 5-3-2. Now this is a formation which after the new patch has become very overpowered, mainly because the game is just kind of a lot more defensive now, but also it is also kind of, in a weird way, it's almost just as attacking, and I'll get into that and explain why the fullbacks have such a huge role to play in this. So making sure you have the right fullbacks is a really important thing. So right, let's get into it. So the ultra defensive, we're on drop back, obviously, as usual. This is ultra defensive, especially at 5 back. We're trying to hold the lead. We're basically just going to create one big defensive unit, so drop back is always the way. The width is on 4, because we're just going to try and tuck him in, make it a bit narrower, make him just defend a bit better and defend the middle of the park. So that is why we're on 4 width, sorry. And then the 2 depth is just to get him back. We're going to just try and get everyone back as deep as we can, and try and make sure no one gets in behind us. So then we have the long ball offensive style. Like I've always said, it's the best counter-attacking tactic on the game, in my opinion. I think it's absolutely incredible. So yeah, it's suited for players who have really high attacking positioning, and just the higher rated players in the game. So if you've got any good attackers, like I've got R9 and Pele in this team, works absolute wonders with these. They can just expose the back line so often, especially when you're just sitting back, they're fully committed, you counter, it's easy goals. It's not a great way to play the game, but unfortunately that's just the way to win these games at the moment. So then on offense as well, we've still got the full width, because there's just no need to go any wider than that when we're trying to defend. We're not trying to score really, so that's pretty irrelevant if I'm honest. And then we have the players in the box, which is on 2. Just because we don't want anyone going forward, we're just trying to defend, boys. That's all it is. And then corners and free kicks are both on 1, because we're just trying to defend. It's as pretty simple as that. We're just trying to defend the bloody goal. So now the tactics. Obviously, both of these strikers, I've just got them on comeback on defence. We're just trying to defend the goal. So that is why they're on comeback on defence. Then we've got all 3 centre mids on stay back while attacking. Now the only difference is between the 3 is that the middle centre mid I have on get into the box across instead of stay on the edge of the box across, and that's only because you kind of use that card as more of as kind of like a cam. So just trying to be a bit more offensive with him, I guess, in a way. If those wing backs ever get the chance to create any attacking options, he is obviously the one that I'd be wanting to get into the box, as well as Pele and R9. And then fullbacks and stay back while attacking, conserve interceptions, because we don't want them lunging out of position, and both fullbacks are on that as well. So just a quick one on the ultra defensive, because no one really, we don't want to be using this, do we? Do you know what I mean? So we'll just go past that. Now, like I said, this is the one where I'm just trying to start the game, if I'm trying to fill someone out, if I'm just trying to figure out how they're playing and how they're going to approach the game, this is what I would use. I still always use the pressure and heavy touch as a defensive style. I think it's very nice, and especially in this formation, it gives you a lot of ways to kind of pick the ball up and then go. So pressure and heavy touch is a really nice one for me. The width is on 5, obviously, because we're using those attacking fullbacks. We don't want to attack them in much narrower than that, so that is why they are on 5. The depth is also on 5, just because we're trying to get a bit higher up the pitch, because the fullbacks will push up. We want the centre backs to kind of be closer to the centre mids, and so yeah, that's why we're on 5 depth. Offensive style is on balanced. I think anything other than balanced, if you're trying to start the game, can be a bit too risky. So that is why we're on balanced offensive style. The width is on 5. Excuse me. Because like I said, of those wing backs, we want them bombing on still. If we tuck them in too narrow, they'll get in the way of the midfielders because there's the three centre mids. They'll get in the way of each other, and it will just become really awkward and very, very weird. And then next we have 6 players in the box. Now I'm doing this purely because I want the 2 strikers in the box, but also I want one of the centre mids to push into the box. That's kind of how this formation works. So that central centre mid is who I want pushing into the box. So that's why I've got 6 on instead of 5. Because if you have 5, can you see on the graphic, it kind of pulls that other centre mid back onto the edge of the box. So that's why we're on 6. Corners is on 2 because we want to win some headers, but we don't want to get counter attacked. And then free kicks is on 1 because, as I always say, we're just shooting. There's no need to have anyone else there. We may as well just protect the counter attack. Now, both of the strikers I don't touch. I don't touch them at all. I leave them be. Maybe you might put them on getting behind if you really want to, but I feel like this is a bit more of a passing formation. It's not necessarily just a long through ball kind of thing. So maybe that isn't for you. But if you want to put getting behind on, I wouldn't be mad at you. That's just a play style thing, and if that works better for you, then go for it. Now, the left and right centre mid I have on stay back while attacking, stay on the edge of the box across, and cover centre. They're going to work as almost like your 2 more DM style centre mids. So that's why they're both on stay back while attacking and stay on the edge of the box across. And then I have them on cover centre because we have the wing backs who can cover the wide space. And because they're wider centre mids anyway, they'll still be reasonably wide. They just won't be hugging the left and right flanks. And so that is the 2 central centre mids. And then we have our central midfielder, who is the one that we're going to play as more of a cam. We've got them on get forward, get into the box across, and cover centre. So like I said, it's a pretty flip side of that. We want him getting forward, trying to make those runs into the box to give options for the RBX or the R1 square crosses. So that is why he's on those tactics. And then all 3 centre backs obviously stay while attacking, but both of the fullbacks are enjoying the attack, and that is why I was saying earlier on in the video this formation could be considered to be more attacking than maybe the 4-4-2s or the 4-4-2-2s. Is because basically you're playing a 3-back, and a lot of the time you can have 5 attackers. So it is a very offensive formation. It does work very well. So join the attack is a very nice tactic on this game when you're using the wing backs. It works really well, and it gives you a lot of wide options that people don't usually anticipate. But yeah, so that's the instructions for the defensive. So the attacking. Now this one is where if you're feeling like you're probably the better person in the game, but you feel like they're playing a bit of a slower way, maybe you're trying to just win the ball back a bit and try and get that goal. Maybe you're feeling a bit impatient and you just want to try and nick a goal. These are the tactics I would use. And this is ones that I will use more often than not anyway, just because I like to be a bit more aggressive. I like to try and oppose myself onto an opponent instead of just waiting for them to dictate their play to me. So yeah. So the defensive style is press after possession loss. That is purely just... The thing is, with press after possession loss, there's so many pros and cons. Obviously, it's great to win the ball back up high on the pitch, and it can probably give you a lot more chances that you wouldn't usually have. But on the flip side, it does drag your players out of position. It does cause player fatigue, which means the players do get tired. So it just depends what you want, and if you're willing to take the risks with the pros. So yeah, but I like press after possession loss, so that's why I'm using that. Again, 5 width on the defensive. I think that's what you need with this formation. And then the 5 depth, because like I said, I want those centre-backs pushing up a bit higher to keep up with those full-backs and to get a bit closer to the centre-mids to kind of almost... so the centre-mids can protect them a bit better. Then the offensive style is on fast build-up. Like I said, this is a bit more of an aggressive one where you're trying to get up the pitch quick. Now with the three centre-mids, the 2 strikers and the 2 wing-backs, you can really find some amazing spaces with this formation, especially when using fast build-up, because a lot of the time the wingers will overlap, 2 centre-mids will drop, the 1 will go up, and there's the 2 strikers. It almost works like a more aggressive 3-5-2. So it can work really well for you if you can play it right. So fast build-up is really, really good for me. Again, the 5 width, nothing changed there, just because of the full-backs, like I said. And then players in the box is on 6, because like I said, I want one of my centre-mids pushing into the box. And then 2 corners because I want to win headers, but don't want to... I don't want to get counter-attacked, and then the same with the free kicks. Now the instructions, I'm not going to go over them again because they are the same as the defensive ones, the ones where we start the game. Because like I said, it's meant to be reasonably similar. It's just meant to be a slight tactic change to try and get more aggressive up on the pitch. So like I said, they are literally exactly the same. So there is just no need to go over these. All right, boys. But so yeah, just just basically use the same instructions as the last one. Then we have the ultra attacking. Now this is where if you're a goal or two down, you're trying to press high up the pitch. This is the best way up. These are the best tactics I find to do it. Obviously, if you're not interested in these, then maybe you can switch it up a little bit if you want. That's entirely up to you. But this is what I like. So yeah. If you're wondering why I was quickly tweaking them, by the way, I usually have to put the tactics onto a different set so I can do it for you guys. So that's why there's some little tweaks I have to make sometimes. But yeah. So defensive style is on constant pressure as usual. Loads of pros and cons to it. You win the ball back really quickly, but your players get knackered, and players get out of position a lot. But it gives you a chance to score more goals. So, and at this point in the game, if you're a couple goals down and trying to win anyway, no one really cares. We're just trying to get the goals. As usual, the width does not change. They still stay on fire because that is still the ideal width for those fullbacks. Some people get tricked into the fact that just because you're going all out attacking, that means you have to put all the dials up, and that just isn't the case. So that is why I will always go with the 5 width. Then the depth is on 8 because we're just trying to sit high up the pitch. We want to try and win the ball back. We want to try and stop that ball getting into the 2 strikers or the 1 striker, however, depends on what formation you're playing. So that is why we are on 8 depth. Then the offensive style is on fast build up again. Like I said, it can almost end up being like 7 or 8 people in attack. Gives you a lot of great attacking options with a fast build up, and genuinely find I can expose opponents really well with it. So that's why I'm using fast build up. The width is on 5 again. Like I said, just because you're going more attacking doesn't mean you have to mess around with the width. The players in the box is on 8, and that is purely because obviously I want the 2 strikers pushing in, and I'm always going to want those fullbacks kind of trying to make those back round the edge of the box crosses to maybe provide a cutback if the crosses don't work, and just try and be as aggressive as we can. The corners are on 4. I don't have them on 5 because it overcommits too much, and a lot of the time you can find yourself on a counter attack, and there's no point doing that just for a corner. And then the free kicks are on 1 because, like I always say, we're just shooting, so there's no need to have anything higher than that. Now, both of the strikers, I still don't have them on getting behind because, like I said, I think this formation is a bit more of a passing style, but I do have both of them on stay forward. Now, that is because I just want them staying up the pitch so I can try and score goals. So that's pretty much it, and nothing too complicated to say there. Now, both of the centre mids, the only difference is, well, the only similarity actually is the fact that they are actually both on cover centre. But they are both on balanced attacking instead of stable while attacking now because we want them to be that a bit more aggressive to match the depth. So that's why they're both on just standard, like balanced instead of stable while attacking. But then the centre midfield one is still the same. It's still on get forward, get into the box across and cover centre. So we just basically pushing that midfield up a bit and still trying to attack and score as many goals as we can. Now all the centre backs are on stable while attacking. And then both of the fullbacks are on join the attack as before because we want them trying to score goals. Some people may put them on overlap. It just depends. I like to have them on mix so they make inside and outside runs. But some people may just want them to make outside runs, that's what the overlap one does. So it's just up to you. Again, it's just a play style thing. But I like to have them on mixed attack instead of just overlap. But listen, guys, if you enjoyed this video, drop it a like, drop it a comment, drop me a sub if you can. I'd really appreciate it. And obviously turn the notification bell on. Let me know if you try this formation out. Like I said, it is more of the new meta formation this year. It's a formation that is really starting to get put into the game circulation. So just let me know how it goes if you decide to use it. But it's been me, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.